Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. This is a day in infamy. America and the world is recognizing some truths. Times that we're expressing right now, I believe that a brother passed on now, Malcolm X, would say that considering the truth that we have all come to recognize now, it would be wise if all people of color, black people, and people who have been victims of white man's oppression all our lives should make a plan that when he tries to take us down, we make sure that he takes himself down as well. And Martin might say, well, when he tries to take us down, let's let him and leave everything to him. And when he sees what he has to do, he'll find himself in real hell. And Martin says that on the premise that we accept the fact that there is a God, that there's a heaven. Some say we don't have to go that far. We just accept it as being real. And our mind and in our hearts will be so glorified and magnified till if it ain't real and out there, it's real in here, so it's justifiable and good enough for that person. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to tell you some things, that the truth of the matter is, as spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people, I feel confident that when I speak about the ways of life as we have grown to accept it here in the real world, that those things that are so important to us can be made possible for all of us. And it was so designed that way because it is the only way to peace, prosperity, freedom, and joy of life, the fulfillment of our dreams. So that is something that we would all pursue, except unless we are led by a devil. There used to be a brother a long time ago that lived. His name was Elijah Muhammad. He used to say the white man was the devil. He said that because everywhere the white man go, he calls death. He calls death. Now, that doesn't mean all white people, because the other day when we were out there protesting and marching, tearing up buildings and stuff, white people right there in the middle, right there with us all the way. They said they're fed up with this crap too, because what has happened, ladies and gentlemen, all of us, the whole world is experiencing the same kinds of things. We might have different systems of government, we might have different nationalities, and we might have different races or different genders running the show. But the game is always the same. It doesn't matter whether it's capitalism, democracy, it doesn't matter whether it's socialism, communism, it doesn't matter whether it's dictators or the mob. It doesn't matter at all. The game is the same. The game is the same. And if they're designed by different philosophical thoughts that allow people to play gods based upon their thinking. And that's why you have the different ones. But they all built on the foundation of exploitation and taking advantage of people. See, God gave us life. Well, oh man, I didn't want to start preaching to you today. So I guess I'll just stop. I'm not going to preach to you today. But I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that it's over. 400 years of persecution and being held down with a knee on your neck. The whole world knows now how power operates. The brother, the white man, let me call him a white man, he's a brother still, with a knee on George Floyd's neck represents the power all over the world. In America, it represents the white man. In the other countries, it represents whoever's in power, but it's power. The young man who is on there, under that pressure, being persecuted, that represents all the people in the world whose dreams are unfulfilled. He represents all the people in the world whose dreams are unfulfilled. And the things that he was crying out, they represent the efforts of those people whose dreams have not been filled. It represents their prayers. It represents the efforts, the initiatives that they've taken to try to accomplish their dreams. How they've sold out, many of them, their own soul as far as they can gather. And yet, my friends, are still denied. And so when we look at all of that, we look at the fact that those who are observant, and that's all of us, That's all of us. Those who are above it because we're in the 1%, or those who are just down and been brainwashed to think that there's nothing to do, don't know what to do, who sits back and are good people, but do nothing that allows the brother George Floyd, to die, which represents all of us, all of us. But he cried out, they say, for his mom, for his mother. They say his mother is dead. So he was crying out to a spiritual world saying, I can't stand it, I can't, please save me. Well, I'm sure that the brother, when he cried out like that, I believe, I don't know this for a fact, I believed according to the teachings of some of the things in the Bible that I do believe, he was saved. He was captured. He was brought into the glory of the kingdom where God has prepared it for people like who like us, the abused when we wake up. Well, that prayer also is a statement to all of the human race, those who are being oppressed and the oppressors, that the whole world knows that the cry has gone out and everybody is watching to see if God is going to move. I say, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to worry about what everybody else is going to do. We hope they do, but right now all we have to do is make sure that God is in us. And what does that mean? That means the persecution that's been going on for 400 years is over, because we who are led by the spirit of love are not going to take it anymore. And you think about marching in the streets is the only thing we can do, you ain't seen nothing yet. You see the sun is shining? It can block your vision where you can't see. You ain't as good as you think you are. Who am I talking to? I'm talking about everybody that would defy God. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I talked probably over my 4 minutes, so I'm going to say thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Once again, this is Eddie Marcus, and I'll be back tomorrow morning to share at least 4 more minutes with you. In the meantime, God bless. Goodbye.